All right, losers, get in. We are playing Secret of Mana. Now, one thing that you might notice is that there's no music in the background. And the reason why there's no music in the background is because I recorded this video and I managed to neglect to check my audio source. Now, normally what I would have done is I would have gone back to a previous save state to try and just record the whole thing over again, but nothing doing. I had already saved it once I got past it and never checked. So, well, you live and learn. So, in the last video, we traveled all the way to the ice country, and we are making our way to the ice palace, which, unbeknownst to us beforehand, we had to get to before the fire palace. We met up with Tropicallo's evil bastard of a cousin. I did fight the boss. I did play the game. I fought the boss a couple of times between recording. So that way I make sure I could actually beat him with the setup that I had. The one thing that I did learn is that offensive magic, so basically anything that Phil can do, does not help at all. The thing to do is actually just stone cold fucking hitting the fucker and trying to kill him with your bare hands. So one mistake that I, in retrospect, know that I made is, and you can see that Phil's dead. The mistake that I made is that I gave Phil the axe when I should have given him a ranged weapon like the boomerang, and stayed in control of Timbo. Now I'm gonna be ending up with Genie here. Oh, that's right. I got super pissed because my characters died. I used Cup of Wishes to bring them back, and in that time, Boreal Face came up and started hitting them, and because they were trying to occupy the same space, I was getting fucking reamed on my hit points. But yeah, so involves a little bit of trial and error. I did get an upgrade that right there. You can see that my skill with the magic of Sylphid goes up. That's kind of like a random happenstance, a random coincidence, because I was actually deliberately not trying to use it, but when I got there and it was targeting the Reacher, or the whatever the thing is called over there, figured that it couldn't hurt to try and cast the spell. So, like most bosses in Secret of Mana, a lot of this is in and out, in and out, in and out, trying to, and Phil's dead, trying to figure out what the best way of going about it is. This guy was definitely not easy. He was easily the most difficult boss since Spiky Tiger. Everyone else kind of had their quirks and probably took a couple of times, but it was a lot easier to figure out the pattern and on how to deal with it. I mean, to realize that there was not an offensive magic spell that was going to do enough damage to Boreal Face, that took more trial and error than others. The other bosses, at least there was a weakness that I could use, that I could exploit. But yeah, it was a little bit more than intimidating. I actually didn't think I was going to finish this run of it. So as I mentioned before, and I actually mentioned it in this video as well, you'll see the text sometimes at the bottom of the screen. I've mentioned it before, or at least I should have. I am playing this on an emulator. It's a SNES 9X. Right now I'm playing directly on my keyboard, which is part of the reason why my movement is, and perhaps always will be, clunky. I am investing in the Super Nintendo USB. They're not expensive. They're like $10, but I got bills to pay. Gotta make sure I have everything. So the main strategy that I had developed, and what I would recommend if you're fighting Boreal Face, is for the Mana Sword needs to be charged all the way. At this point I have him at level 3, so I usually do about 114 points of damage, sometimes a little bit more if it's a critical hit. I try to keep him out of the window until I'm ready to move in. He will fucking troll you with those exploding pumpkins, and he will do it all goddamn day. I think if you hit the little vine reacher thing, that does a little bit of damage to him. I think the highest that I saw that it would do would be like 55 points of damage. So not too shabby. Genie has the short bow, and I kind of just left it on her. It was kind of unintentional, but she ended up developing her skill with it to level 3, so it worked out pretty well. especially in this instance. I also forget that she could do defensive and healing magic, so really the Cure Water was really was a lifesaver, and as far as this fight was concerned. What's also super annoying is that the if you get too close to Boreal Face before he opens up, it will do damage and it will knock you back and it will suck everything out. And you can see right there that burst spell did 213 points of damage to Timbo, which basically killed him instantly. It would have killed any member of my party instantly. I don't have any Cups of Wishes at this point, so it is Genie for the remainder of this, and it's a little bit easier to move with just one character. So I think I'm trying to heal her, make sure that she doesn't die. Really, really did not think I was going to finish this, but managed to do quite well. And yeah, bitch got cut. I think when I originally did this, I said something about, being aroused prominently. You don't have to listen to that. It's probably best if the audio got dropped. But yeah, way to go. We got the bow orb, completely appropriate given the fact that the bow is the thing that saved us. And now we go into the village, and everything's green. A little unusual for ice country. We move up a little bit. See a kind of familiar face. I didn't recognize him when I first saw him, but he just told me to watch the stove and walk away. Kind of rude, really, when you think about it, because it's like, dude, we just met. So get set up here, and I'm hanging out in front of a stove. I fought one of the nastiest easily the most difficult boss in several bosses, and I'm now watching a stove. But I do get the fire elemental, Salamando, and he in the ice country is he's going to prove to be invaluable. So we get his powers, and everything in the village was green, but the second that he is under my control, the village turns white again. You again? You didn't recognize them? Oh, sorry. Everyone's gone. I was about to become rich. Yeah, this is the guy from the ship when we fought the Kilroy robot, when they stole the water seed or the underground palace seed. I don't remember. So at this point, I'm not exactly sure what to do. I know that I need the Salamando firepower in order to get along in the fire palace, but I also know that the ice palace is right around the corner, and using using Salamando's power is gonna probably be a little bit more than helpful getting along in the ice palace. Right now, I'm going through the village. I'm trying to figure out, if there's someone that I can talk to. Is there a treasure chest? Can I buy something? There's the safe state, mumbo jumbo. Maybe I need to dedicate a third one, just for like the beginnings and ends of videos, just to make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again. All right. Yeah, the other thing, I don't remember the turtles being this difficult earlier, like when I first met them, or maybe it was, I don't know, but they are a fucking pain in the ass. They once they are up in the air in that shell, I mean, there's almost no stopping them. But I figure since I got the fire, I'm gonna see what these things can do. So, also quickly losing my shyness in as far as using magic is concerned and using it against everybody in the area. I'm not shy about that anymore. There's no sense in trying to hide the fact, because if I run out of magic, I run out of magic. At least I'll have survived a little bit of time in the meanwhile. Yeah, Lava Wave is kind of interesting. I'm sure that there are little nuances to it, but they all seem to just do, in general, fire damage. But, you're going into an ice palace. You might want to you know, you might want to take that along with you. Um, those are weird. Like, and sometimes that's one thing about the game is that you'll have bad guys, but it's sort of like, what are they doing here? Like that thing's called an LA Funk. What's that about? And of course, I find Neko, and this is where I save the game, but I have neglected to even check the audio at this point. At least now, when I'm recording in the program that I'm using, I can actually see the volume bar go up and down, so I know that I'm coming in nice and clear. It also has an audio bar for the media source, but there's no audio with it because everything is awful. Do. Yeah, and right now I got a bunch of cash. You know, one thing that I've learned in my other experiences playing video games is that really you need everything that you can, and there's no sense in being a spendthrift about it. You'll have a lot of money maybe, but you'll also be dead, and that's not what we're about here. Um, yeah, the bosses on this particular run were really no fucking joke. They were bad. Um, and now I'm using the magic, but kind of getting used to the way that the targeting system works is it's a little frustrating, but not too bad. I mean, it's definitely none of the complaints that I have about the game have ever stopped me from playing the game. There's been a boss or two that I was like, really, 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 but nothing nothing too outrageous. I think around this time I'm gonna start getting I'm gonna get pincered, and I'm gonna start trying to move forward. Oh, this is where I discovered Frosty, and this is when they turn you into a snowman. It basically incapacitates you for a little bit. I am not aware that it's very temporary, and I don't need to waste the medicinal herbs, but I'll figure it out in a second. Future me can't talk to past me. Do 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 do. And also remembering that you get more experience the more magic that you use. So it only makes sense to use it, of course. And I'm only at level 1 with it. And I have a feeling that I could be a lot further along if I use it more often. So you are going to start seeing me use more Cure Water over the course of the run. It's just a natural thing to do. And really something that I should have been doing this entire time. And Phil's dead. Great. Ice Saber, level 4. So I'm going to take the risk here. Oh, this is interesting. So Fire Bouquet is something that the Spiky Tiger did to me a couple of times over the course of that fight. It lowers the attack power. It is the main thing, and it also does some magic damage on the side. I am... Yep, they're both dead. And that's another thing, like, if I wasn't trying to get the fuck out, they probably wouldn't have died, but also, if I wasn't trying to run, it's quite possible all 3 of us would have died. So very quickly, poured some Cups of Wishes, got Phil and Jeannie back. Think about using the Flame Saber. I always think about using the Saber enhancement thing, the weapon enhancement thing, but I never go through with it, because there's no point. Really need to remember to use Exploder more often. Just like a lot more often. Okay, so nothing to the right, nothing to the left. So into the cave we go. And this is where I start getting trolled really hard by these shell blasts, or whatever they're called. And the switches are a little confusing. I mean, if I kept on going to the right, I would have been able to go ahead and get out of this. But I'm going to try the left first, and I'm going to see that there's something there. There's a little bloop blop noise, so nothing's going to work. But you know, whatever. And then I decided to kind of focus in on just one baddie at a time. And this quickly goes out the window because I thought that was the same guy. Uh, you know, the more that you're able to get like just focus on one, the better off you're going to be. And it seems obvious, but it's really easy to think that you can, with three of your characters, that you will be able to take care of more than a couple of people at once, and you want to avoid it. But all the villains in this room are dead. We've hit the switch. There's no trick to it, and we go. I almost immediately turned around. I'm not fucking dealing with this guy. But I got a soldier on, so in the time that it took me to cast one spell, he's already split up to two more entities, so I was not fucking dealing with that. And remembering that Exploder is, of course, the best option that I have at this point. That LA Funk's going to give me trouble, but I'm going to do a multiple attack. That's really the best thing to do. Really also trying to focus on giving the the fairy walnut to the right person. I can actually give it to Timbo, but there's no reason because he can't cast magic, which actually begs the question, why would I be able to do that in the first place? Yeah, here I'm choosing left or right. I don't know if there is a difference. Also, this treasure chest isn't moving, so it seems possible to go ahead and throw that down. Got a fairy walnut. Probably the best thing I could have found in that moment. And there's a door number 1, number 2, so pretty sure that the best thing to do is going to be to do some healing. But I just got a save state. Oh yeah, this was annoying. Super annoying, because you get frosted, and at this point I still don't know. Sorry, I had to move my headset. I still don't know that I don't need to do that if they're frostified or whatever it is. The only thing that I need to do is just wait a little bit. Now, given the position, I probably still would go back and do the exact same thing. Reason being is that I need Phil free so that I can use the magic that he possesses. Yeah, and Phil and Timbo were really low on health at this point. It was super frustrating. No joke, kids. No joke. I mean, and also remember in previous dungeons, whenever I come across these little like gel things, I always run past them. I don't have fucking time for all this shit. But didn't really have a choice because it was between me and that trigger. I don't even know 100% what that trigger is going to do. I just know that I'm going to have to deal with it. And Phil got frostified again, but his magic went up. So I think it's the quickest upgrade to a magic elemental that I've had since I've started the game. Brought Timbo back. And these things are still not dead, and I'm not slouching on this. Like, I'm doing everything that I can, pretty much. But hit it with a level 1 exploder, so it did a lot more damage than before. And now I can hit the switch, and now I can get my ass whooped by this one thing. He hits Phil and Timbo at the same time. Because he hit him, and I tried to cast the spell. The spell did not go through, because the avatar needs to show up in order for the spell to work. And I don't know why I'm using Fireball. I really should be. Oh, then I burnt his corpse. Yes. Yes. All right. Guess I'm thinking about a weapon change. I think longbow is probably the best option. It's still the best option for her at this point. she's gonna need. They're both probably gonna need a fairy walnut, and main reason for that. I mean, she's our healer, so we obviously she needs to have all the goods. Do 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 do. Alright. Oh yeah, the fucking ghost. Yeah, fuck that noise. Oh yeah, I turned. This was a mistake. Immediately turned back around. I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit, and then immediately got fucking boned by the turtle. So 50-50 chance on the switch. It's gonna be the one to the right. I see that eyeball, and I'm not even gonna begin to fuck with it. And well, you know, a book. I can probably take on a book. So, and it's just the one book. So yeah, that was a pretty easy choice to do that. And this was not. I mean, it's a disorienting maze, and the ghosts that they have going on here are obviously dangerous. I'm trying to move past them. I'm not trying to do anything unnecessary. And it's also nice to get healed by a level 2 cure. So it's better than a candy, but it's still not as good as a chocolate bar. Need to keep focusing on that. Now the ghosts are able to wander through the walls. They are still targetable by your two characters that aren't controlled by you. So in this case, Jeannie and Phil are still going to try and whack at them, but there's no chance that they'll be able to. And now that they're down, go to Exploder. It's really something I should have been doing from the beginning, but whatever. And really, the only way that I'm ever going to be able to hit them is going to be through magic. So got him. Excuse me. And nice little boost with the level 2 cure. Got all the way. And last part of the library portion of the tour of the Ice Palace. Now, really, don't want to say disorienting, but really unsettling is the fact that the door closed right behind me. I got maybe not the best list of supplies going on right here. At least I got a chocolate and not poison needles. You're going to see me right here. You see me do the save state because I know something fishy is about to happen. And of course, I land, and it's fuck. That's I do remember doing that. Just fuck. Because I remember just fighting one of these guys in the cave going into Undying. But yeah, this is definitely not what I wanted. I mean, I guess I was going to have to fight some sort of a boss at some point. But yeah, like the defense of these guys is pretty, or the evade, I should say, is pretty sick. So most of the fighting is going to be me moving around, remembering, of course, that it's the more damage that you do, that's what's actually going to help us out here. And also, of course, just flat out remembering to cast the spells that I don't have to, try to hit him with the sword every single time. The biting lizard phase of it is always a little, sad. Because he can suck you in, suck out energy, like he did with Timbo just there, and like he did with Genie just there. It's I'm not exactly sure why I was a little slow on the uptake on it, but really the thing to do is to just switch over to Phil here and do what we gotta. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be however many magic points per target, or maybe it isn't. It doesn't really matter. Like, the fact is that the damage has to be done. And you see that Tonpole transformed into the biting lizard because enough damage had happened to it. I don't know how the two on the right got more damage, because I don't think I was neglecting that far left Tonpole, but you know, whatever. Here I'm tempted to try other magic, but I just know that the fire spells are going to be the best option. A little disappointed that I'm only doing about 58 to 60 points of damage with the Mana Sword. There are 3 of them. I have to move pretty quickly, so I don't really feel like I have the luxury of trying to charge the Mana Sword to go into it. And there goes Phil. And they cast their level 3. Fortunately, you know, when you do a multiple, it hits everybody, but it doesn't do as much damage as it might. So at least the Cure 3 there kind of mellowed it out. And then they realized they could just cast it individually on themselves and everything would be fine. Kablooey. So yeah, doing the exploder is definitely got to be the main way forward from here on in. Level 1. I don't remember. I might actually get all the way up to level 2 on this. Oh, got a nice whack on that center one. Now you'll see the one on the far bottom is dead, but I don't recognize it as dead. I'm assuming that he's just like sleeping, like he's going to get up any second. So I actually hold off on casting any magic just in case he comes back. Now I've made the realization, cast the spell, and the right biting lizard should be dead, and he is. And now I just focus on the left biting lizard. So that way I can move on. My goddamn. And now I'm not even worried about the magic. Like I got 3 guys on him. Everyone's in good health. He's just casting Cure 3 on himself. Just sit there and fucking beat him down. Beat him like he owes you money. Beat him like you work for one of those paycheck cashing places. Just beat him mercilessly. And he's dead. And there was no mercy involved in that whatsoever. Somehow we get back up here, and then we move forward. So this is where I decided to take a pause in the video before I was about to realize the awful fate that I was in for. I appreciate your patience in this video. It's not nearly as interesting as the other ones maybe. But like and share if you liked it, and subscribe. Or don't, you know, because I'm not your mother. But hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.